What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment, Royal Rundown. I am one half of your hosting duo, Serge Vicente. Joining me as always is my sister from another mister, Miss Drede. Miss Drede, what it do?
What up, everybody? What's going on? Happy Tuesday after
Tuesday after Mania. Happy Tuesday after Mania. Let them know. Everybody who is watching live right now on the Scrap News YouTube page, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you like the show or not. We just hilly like that here today. You know what I'm saying? Just like it, all right? But no, like, share to the fastest growing YouTube channel, All of Combat Sports. Please go ahead and check them out. Fantastic articles on the website. You really get an opportunity to deep dive into and learn some of the regional fighters and the fight scene there. Check that out. Really dope. Also, do yourself a favor, check out the Fight Podcast. Everything we have as well. Like, share, and subscribe. You will see my face on many other things. But Ms. Drede,
what up?
The wrestling expert. How are you today? Welcome to the show. How are you feeling? Hey, you've been in the building. You know what it do.
Man, it's been a roller coaster ride for the last few days, has it not?
Hasn't it? Well,
we got lots to cover today.
If that's the case,
yeah, let's do it. We got lots to cover. We had a great 2 days of show. We had some news. Then we had some other things.
All the news and some other things. Things are happening. The return of Voldemort. I'm talking about. They always said he was going to come back. Oh my God! But let's go ahead and talk about this. First thing on the docket today, and I think we have to go ahead and address is that Endeavor, parent company to the UFC, goes out there and actually they have signed an agreement. This actually came out yesterday, Monday, bright and early Monday morning. They announced this on their Twitter today. Endeavor announced it has signed an agreement to form a $21 billion global live sports and entertainment company made up of the UFC and the WWE. People, if you guys haven't realized, this is a huge deal. I mean, Endeavor already, is the parent company to the UFC. The UFC, as we already know, they were valued somewhere around $9 billion or so, especially at this point in time. They were bought by Endeavor for $4.6 billion. Now they're about $9 billion. And then, the WWE came. I'm sorry, let me switch that around. And Dre, you might have the actual numbers on this one, but I believe it's actually the other way around. The UFC is worth 12 now, and the WWE is worth 9. I think it was 9.3 in the WWE. Yeah, there it is. Does this change anything for people in the UFC? No, they're not going to get paid no more. I hope people don't think that's going to happen. These are two separate entities still, but they're just under the same umbrella. Just like some of your, all of the podcasts on Spotify. They might be a Spotify podcast, but you know what I'm saying? They're all individuals, but they're under one umbrella, should I say. So
Endeavor
it's
is
interesting.
The umbrella.
So let me ask you this. What are your thoughts hearing that Endeavor has controlling shares of the company? They have 51% of the company. Vince has the other 40, whatever the fuck. Look, how do you feel
the board, the WWE board?
Not the board, Vince. Vince got it.
The board. It's so. I watch too much TV apparently, I think, or just because of what we do for a living. But I just can't help but think about, aside from all of the business stuff, I think on a business side, there are definitely pros to it. UFC or I would say just mixed martial arts in general, but UFC specifically and WWE have always kind of had a positive relationship, and for the most part, I think it started off rocky.
It sounds like you've been listening to somebody else's podcast. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I ain't never heard you talk about those things before.
I know a little bit when it comes to that, but I know. I know from the WWE side, right? I know that they've always had some, a fairly friendly relationship, mostly just because
it's extremely symbiotic.
Yeah, and mostly just because the athletes are fans of each other, right? Like,
yes,
you could see the influence, the influences between both, and then obviously there's a few that have done both, so that there's just
not
all
just
of that.
The history of both of the sports are intertwined.
Correct.
I mean, if we're looking at it it's if we're going back to the catch wrestling days and everything that happened with that, those are the same dudes doing catch wrestling and were are the same guys that ended up doing these different type of grappling arts and martial arts and things like that. They are extremely symbiotic, even to the point where Dana White has literally stolen Vince McMahon's blueprint to essentially build the UFC. And it's funny seeing that, where they, at one point in time, they were extremely, obviously complimentary of each other. And then all of a sudden, it seemed as if there was a little bit more of a competition because the WWE realized that the UFC was kind of gaining ground. And then it's kind of like back to mutual respect. It's extremely interesting.
I think real quick, I want just to touch on on the moment in time where the relationship seemed a bit strained. I would call it competitive, right? But I think it was competitive on one side. I think Vince, there were so many years where WCW did not exist. Right. So like once 2000 or whatever hit and they brought WCW, WWE did not have real competition in the combat sports world until just 3 years ago, really. Right. And so
wait, what?
Until AEW.
Okay.
What are you
talking about? I thought you were trying to, for a second, because I thought the way you were going was that.
Let me get there.
Okay, go ahead. Okay,
let me get
my
there.
bad.
So what I'm saying is, I think the reason why the relationship started to get a little strained is because there were pro wrestling athletes that did want to try their hand at MMA, and obviously the UFC is a big deal, and so they have their eyes on that. And I think there's a Brock Lesnar moment, there's a Bobby Lashley moment, there's a Ken Shamrock that before everybody, you know what I mean? So it's just.
He came from MMA before he was in wrestling.
Yep. Correct. So like, I think that the reason why the perception is that the relationship was a little strained is because I think Vince looked at UFC as a competition instead of as something that you can work with and around. And I think eventually he got to that point, and now we're here. And so the other weird thing to me, I mean, my only thoughts is it is so interesting to me that this family-owned business that has been family-owned for so long is no longer family majority-owned. And I mean, not that things can't change in the future, of course, but it's just really interesting. And I'm just like, I don't know what season of Succession we're on, but we're
on a season of Succession where old man blew it all up. That's where we at. Because like
I don't remember that.
Is a terror.
It's real time. We're watching it all in real time, and it's just really interesting to see, because this isn't this is real life. We see it playing out on the news and TV, but this is actually real life. This is a real company. There's a real family involved, McMahon's and them, so it's just real. It's just really interesting. And of course, what we're definitely going to touch on is how does this adjust what we see on our television screen creatively on both ends, really. And I think that one is gonna see more changes than the other, as we've already have seen.
Look, it's
so yeah.
Look, Rey Mysterio is not the deadbeat dad in this storyline. Okay, it is absolutely Vince McMahon. Look, everything that's the fact it almost feels like
fascinating.
It feels as if the WWE was doing better than it ever has, and it was getting more press. Wrestling was more fun than it ever has when he left. And people were talking about and saying things, even like people like us on this show, saying in trips we trust. Oh my God, the booking has never been better. And it really feels as if, and Stephanie's the best ever. If it wasn't for Stephanie, they wouldn't even be women in the WWE. Like we hear things like this, right? Like I heard somebody say Stephanie invented women.
She started the women's revolution began by Stephanie McMahon.
So it seems like this dude.
That's really an intimidating woman, by the way. I walked by her one time and was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna just keep walking. I'm gonna just nod and keep on walking.
I believe it. One of the greatest heels of all time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But I'll say this: when I look at somebody like This was set up. This was supposed to be Triple H's company. This was supposed to be Stephanie and Triple H taking the reins, and this predator, for all practical purposes,
succubus.
You know what I'm saying? Goes out here,
sucking the life out of all the fun out of everything,
man. But not even a predator in that sense. Like real life predator. Like he had to resign because you know what I'm saying.
Sexual misconduct is
exactly and the only reason he was able to keep exactly. So because of the sexual misconduct and everything, aka you're a predator, and you go out here and essentially force your way back in. You know what I'm saying? When he forcing himself way back into a company where, let's not forget, they all voted and say they do not want him back.
And that he held them hostage. He said, if you do not allow me to have my not controlling share, but I forget the actual name of the position, but he wanted to come back earlier this year. He literally filed, and he put it out in the press too, which
and everything.
Gee, to me, that was such a put your dick on the table moment. Like, it was just like, all right, dude, like, come on. We know
he
who
literally
you are.
said, I will burn this whole thing down if y'all don't give me what I want.
I will not approve any sale anywhere if you don't put me in this thing. And it's just like, it's a fragile ego at play. I mean, it is
the most fragile ego at play. And even to the point where this dude comes back with dyed hair and eyebrows, all the Botox, and this
the Botox was already there,
and super villain mustache. Like,
now you can't tell me
looking crazy,
as the Brits say. You can't tell me he ain't just taking the piss. Like, you can't not tell me he did not. He went in the house and got that dye and did it himself, and he said, "This is gonna pop the boys." You cannot tell me he didn't do that. Because
you know what? I think he's that
is taking the piss.
Detached at this point in time. No, I think that dude, somebody who goes out there and strong arms a company that you're supposed to be able to pass down in your family. I'm sorry, like he ain't taking the piss. This dude is the piss.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like he is truly a cancer that is rotting that organization. And he needs to be cut out.
It's so fascinating. And it's so fascinating because, like, to me, you think about it this way, and this is the worst sentence I'll ever say out loud. Sexual misconduct aside. Because that's the worst transitional statement anyone can ever say. But just like, okay, so that happens, right? You get investigated for that. Everything comes out that you've paid all these millions of dollars of hush money and all this, et cetera, et cetera. You genuinely, officially retire, walk away, you hand the company over to your son-in-law, and things are going great.
Not going great, better than ever.
Like, there's nothing in your spirit that just goes, wow, like, and they even gave him like this nice thank you Vince thing. Stephanie, did that stupid chant or whatever.
The whole send-off.
They did the whole thing. So they're giving you, they're rubbing your ego and giving you your flowers, right? Because
they Vince understand that you needed stroke. Yes.
So fine, they did all of that, and then your legacy moves on in their work, but that's not enough for you. Like, that blows my mind. That blows my mind. That is fascinating to me to have an. I don't understand it. I'm fascinated by that.
The fragility of that person's ego is ridiculous. And the fact that he should be proud that he can leave something and it just continues getting better without him. You should be proud.
That would be something you would want.
but he doesn't want that. He refuses to do so. And even again, we will discuss this later in the show. Literally, company morale is lower than it's ever been in a day. Look, we are on the Tuesday after Mania, and we are 15 minutes into the show, and we haven't even talked about WrestleMania. Think about that.
And it was like all around pretty decent show. Like,
it's the best one I can remember, and it's the first one without Vince.
It was. I mean, I'm saying decent because we from Chicago, everything's decent, but like,
Everything decent.
If it's decent, it's pretty good. Like it's like that's good. What I'm saying, like it was like night one. We'll talk about this. You know, I think that we'll break it down in a minute. But like I think as a whole, it was a success. You know, regardless of you agree with all the booking decisions or not, it was still a very entertaining Mania. Like
very entertaining. Every one of those matches ended like it was supposed to end. All right, I said what I said.
We know it. Real quick. That's how he feels.
Y'all can kick rock sideways, boo somewhere else. You and Cody, get your ass out of here.
He's sorry. I'm sorry. That was so good. I love it. Give me the drama. I love it. I loved that. That was so good. I love dramatic Cody.
Yo, time out. So in the infamous group chat, I texted everybody in the infamous group chat. The moment that dude went out there and started kissing babies and shit, I'm like, he lost. I was like, he lost. Did I not? The moment that man started kissing babies, like, he lost. Roman definitely won.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. What you doing over here kissing babies? You ain't focused. You ain't locked in. Tribal Chief trying to whoop that ass. You over here kissing babies.
I love it. I loved it all. I mean,
you know what I've realized?
You don't like faces.
Not like
period. You say that once every other show. Like, y'all, there's 48 episodes of this show, and he does not like faces.
No, for real. Think about it. Faces, right? Like,
I be over here fighting for faces' lives over here. I'm just fighting for them.
It was a face I cheered for him. And you know what? I love Rey Mysterio. No one can say anything wrong about Rey.
That's Rey Mysterio. Like, if you don't like Rey Mysterio, I don't trust you.
I do not trust you. You do not like Rey Mysterio. I do not trust
Rey Mysterio. The Hall of Famer.
How do you not like Rey Mysterio?
Rey Mysterio.
But Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Put some respect on his name.
Throw that title on him every time you say it. You don't like white, what they call them, white meat baby.
The white meat baby face.
You like a good tweener. Somebody that gives you some fire, somebody that gives you some spark, but you don't like the kissing babies and shaking hands and Make-A-Wish Foundation joints. That's not your jam.
Eat your vitamins and, swallow your Fruit Loops or whatever.
You liked Big E. You liked Big E, and he was a face. But I didn't give you any choice. And I ain't give you no choice on this show.
He's one of us. I like Big E. I like everything. They can come out with all the unicorns and bootios they want, and I am here for
every new day, all day, of it. Every day over here.
Second greatest faction of all time.
I love them too. 1A and 1B. 1A and 1B.
Hey, I think it's after this past weekend. Let's jump into it, okay? Because I'm tired of talking about Vince and his tomfoolery. What does this mean for the UFC and their fighters and their fighter pay? Absolutely diddly squat. Nothing is happening for them. I'm sorry. Now, might we see some fighters ringside, or we might see some angles, have some fighters go in there? Look, they're going to do it far better than that trash ATT and AEW gave you, okay? WWE and the UFC is going to put some production value in those little feuds, all right? Even if they decide to make that happen, you cannot look at me with a straight face and tell me that ATT stuff was good.
ATT? What ATT stuff?
American Top Team.
Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't good.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't speaking out of turn.
Good. Sorry. I was like, yeah, it wasn't good. But
you made it seem like I said something wrong.
I said, I was like, whose phone call? What did AT&T do? I was confused. I'm back now. Thank you. What I was going to say was, the American Top Team stuff was not good. For AEW. However, I am always grading AEW on a curve because they are still new. I know it's been a couple years. No one is still new.
We love AEW here on the Royal Rundown. I am an AEW. Look, they might not build up their pay-per-views. They might not promote it, or they might not give us a good build.
But you still gonna buy that joint because it's gonna be worth your little money.
Slap
every time.
Look. This past weekend, first of all, let's jump into it. Wrestlemania weekend, people, here in Los Angeles was fantastic. Okay, all week the events were great. From Wale Mania to all of the independent shows and all the independent, competitors and all of the wrestlers and performers that performed this past week. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You guys went out there. Unfortunately, I was not able to see everything, but what you guys did and performed and what you brought to the table, because this is like the Super Bowl of wrestling, was truly amazing. Salute to all of you that went out there and did it. Wrestling fans, salute to you. We went out here and did our thing, represented well. Everything was super dope in the city. Nothing was more wild than it usually is here in LA. So that's fantastic.
Sir said, thank you guys for not messing up his city. That's what he said.
I appreciate that. I do. I really do. So that's fantastic. But we even had a Ring of Honor had their card of honor, super card of honor, and that was incredible. I'm talking about Cero Miedo, Penta, and my boy Ray Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I get down with them. They went out there, got their tag team titles. Speedy recovery to was it Deontay Fox or whatever?
Dante Martin.
Yeah,
that joint looked
Dante Martin took a bad spill. Yeah, he took a bad spill. Okay. It was nobody's fault. Yeah. He just came down funny. All his weight snapped up his ankle real nice. Definitely watched it live, like when it happened, and when I saw it, I was like, "Oh,
yeah, he's not okay. He's not okay."
Because it was directly in the camera.
It couldn't be more in the camera.
Could have been more obvious because they kept it on it. They damn near zoomed in on his foot. Like, you see my man, he like landed, looked and said, "What? Oh no!"
Yeah.
So he's out for a minimum year. Unfortunately, but salute to everybody else. The
speedy recovery,
speedy recovery, please, Dante. Because those guys, and they were just starting to hit their stride, and that is the difficult thing about guys that are high flyers and things. I mean, guys, it's dangerous. I mean, look what happened to Phoenix the year before last when he dislocated his elbow. Crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous game, so I really do appreciate and I'm grateful for the incredible performers that are out there, because those dudes went out there and really did work. Eddie Kingston went out there and did his thing, with what's Claudio's name? Yeah, Claudio Castagnoli. You know what I'm saying? I obviously I wanted Eddie Kingston to win, but Claudio went out there and retained and did his thing. Shibata, oh man, the Shibata match was awesome. Love watching Shibata. Tanahashi was in 2 different cards. There were some really incredible Yoda level fucking wrestlers out here this past week performing. Mox was out here performing in somebody's garage.
Man, Mr. Moxley, Mr. Moxley, if you want to book Moxley, just call him. What is he? Yeah, he's gonna say yes.
He's out there on some regular random shit. You know what I'm saying?
But sure. Well, it was
super dope to watch. Very, very, very grateful for all those. But WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we will start off like this. We will start off with night 1.
Yeah.
And we will go ahead and double back and go to night 2. Let's start with this. Okay, instead of starting with this, how about this? How about we go start with main event. Main event, we can talk about what we prefer.
Start with the main event.
Do we want to start with the main event? Or we start with what's kicked it off? Let's kick it off with the Fury. Yeah, not Fury. Theory and
Austin Theory versus John Cena.
Well, what are your thoughts on this match? Did they get it right?
I mean, they got it right. I think, obviously, if we weren't
the way we got there.
No. I mean, I won't say no. I'll just say this. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. I just needed it to be maybe 2 more minutes longer, just so that we could at least get. To me, I want to believe John Cena is going to win at least one time.
Cena got scuffed.
One false finish.
That was damn near a squash match.
It was, and it did allegedly. It did go short. It did run short. It was supposed to be a few minutes longer.
Why? So do you know why?
My guess is I bet you Cena was like, I have not been in the ring in a little bit, and I am tired. So let's go home. That's my guess. And let's be clear, if that's the case, better them be safe and you know what I'm saying? Be
1,000%.
And cleanly, and let's move on. Because look, the story really is Cena putting over Theory, right? Because we're not going to get Cena's doing the, you know, the Undertaker schedule right now. He's going to give us 1 a year until he retires. So 1, maybe 2 tops a year, and then he's going to be gone. So I don't know. You know, I think it was fine. And I'm saying longer only because I just wanted a better false finish. And I'm just tired of the whole like kick to the nuts and their fist to the nuts. It's just like we could have been a little bit more. We could have been a little more creative. Austin Theory is a Weasley heel. We could have added a face somewhere could have came in or to try to another heel could have came in and you could try to build maybe not just 1 star but 2 now, you know, in that particular situation. I mean, there was just
absolutely
there's just
there were missed opportunities for sure.
There was just maybe like another way to do that. Other than that, though, I think it was a fine opener. It was fine. It didn't. It did what it had to do, and we moved on. The crowd popped for Cena. They got to give him his love. The end, and that is all.
Right. No, that was a fun match. The next match was also a lot of fun. Actually, even more fun.
Over-delivered.
The over-delivered. The one that I think none of us really even expected because look, we already know. Street Profits, fire. The Ball and the Bearded, fire. You know what I'm saying? You know, Alpha Academy. You know, Alpha Academy. Yeah, the Bald and the Bearded. Alpha Academy, fire. You know, so we have some really, really dope people. You know, dope people and some dope acts and everything. So, you knew the potential, but that was like 7 minutes of just pure fire. Everybody was doing just spots, jumping all over the place, and I am telling you, we are lining ourselves up. I honestly think that Montez Ford is going to be the one to take the title off of Theory.
I am more than here for that.
I think they're looking at it.
Here's my you know, I would have said a few things if the show was yesterday before Raw.
I don't even want to talk about Raw. Jeez.
I'll stay in my optimistic space here.
That's what you're here for. I appreciate that.
That's because you know I'm here for this. I'm supposed to be the positive.
Because I'm about to bring the fire in a little bit, so I ain't worried about it.
My goodness. There's a couple things here. I think, unfortunately, based off of them losing last night, which they shouldn't have, right? The Street Profits win that really, really fun tag team showcase right at Mania. So they're hot. And then they immediately get into challenge the new champions or whatever yesterday at Raw. To me, that was entirely too soon. Like,
you know who's in charge of that.
We know why that happened.
We're not going to talk about Raw yet, though. We're not talking about that.
Okay, but my point is, I think the future holds a couple things. I think the future holds the Street Profits have won, and then they lost, and they tend to lose in pivotal moments, right? Not necessarily big matches, but pivotal moments, like when we need to be doing something. So since they lost last night, I need to see something else. I need to see them turn. You ready? I wouldn't mind them turning heel if that's what they're going to do now, because it's like, okay, now what else can we do with them? Because we're not going to let them just babyface and work their way up anymore, because you just killed all their momentum yesterday. So it's like,
I'm trying not to like talk about because I just wasn't trying to talk about this yet.
And the titles are on baby faces too. That's the other thing. The tag titles are on baby faces right now.
Now, since we've already kind of jumped into it, let's just talk about it.
We have to talk about Wrestlemania in conjunction with Raw, unfortunately, because
we definitely could not. We could have not, but let's do it anyways.
No, we don't have to.
No, it's cool because we're already here, and we might as well jump into it.
Just finish the point.
Vince McMahon, as we already understand and know, has been back in the creative bubble. He was spotted in Gorilla. And Dre, you want to bring this up real quick? I know you have on Fightful Select. Just a quick highlight of what was going on.
Yeah, so essentially he was in after saying that he wasn't going to be a big part of the creative process anymore. In his words, he said, "Quote, I won't be in the weeds. He'd have some say so in bigger storylines, but he wouldn't be in the weeds." That was his words yesterday morning in an interview. And then last night during Raw, allegedly he was in Gorilla. He was making creative changes throughout the entire show. And unfortunately, like, it was very much back to pre Triple H being head of creative type of
damn right
show day. And which if you watched the show, you could kind of tell, like, the beginning of the show started off really hot, really interesting, really okay. And then by the end of the first hour, there was some shifts and things just weren't very cohesive. And then some things just didn't make sense. There were some matches cut. There were some segments cut. There's some things changed, like, on the fly. And so,
and the reason that that's important to highlight is because since Vince McMahon's departure, this has not been a part. This has not been the norm. Triple H has everything that he does, ahead of time. The the talent, as well as the everybody involved, and they know exactly what's going on. Vince goes out there and changes things to the point where Omos, who wasn't supposed to wrestle, was in catering, kicking it. They had to run, and they were struggling to get his gear because he wasn't supposed to be wrestling today. Yesterday on Monday. So also, coming from that, they're saying team morale is down. A lot of the individuals that are going out there to wrestle are people that Vince McMahon fired the year previous, so they're not confident in their status. There was even a reported someone who is closer to the top of the roster. One of the higher level people says that if he really does stay, they will ask for their release. They ask for another person who is high up in the roster, gets a lot of TV time, said if he stays, they're just going to allow their contract to expire and they're not resigning. So it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And when the performers, the people that people pay money to see, don't want somebody there, to me personally, if I'm trying to protect the product, I get rid of that person. That sounds like good business, right? And especially now, and here's my issue, because I look at it in a company like Endeavor, right? And people are like, oh, well, it's corporate now. They might be able to do X, Y, and Z. This company, Endeavor, did not reprimand a man who slapped his wife on camera on the next, on TMZ on New Year's. And then the very next day, he was out here promoting a slap fighting league. And they didn't do they didn't slap him on the wrist. They didn't say that's not what he's supposed to do, any of that. And they have Vince McMahon now. So they literally have a specific type of individual at the top of the helm in their field. So to be fair, I do not have faith in them to do the right thing. And I think that if Vince McMahon stays doing what he's doing, it's gonna go to shit really fast.
Here's my thing. I mean, obviously, like, when we first started this lovely podcast, Serge, Vince McMahon was in charge of WWE, and
yes, he was.
When things were not creatively good, I would often tell you, "Welcome to being a fan of WWE," like, because it's one of those things where you're just so used to it because it's.
But it's not. So it shouldn't be like that. Like,
I know.
Like, how are we conditioned for bullshit, right? Like, why are we sitting here conditioned to, to serve this? What the hell did Ronda Rousey call these octogenarians or whatever the hell she said?
That's what she called
them. Literally, like, why we got these?
But I'll tell you why.
Please.
I'll tell you why. I tell you why we do it, and we've actually talked about this on our show before, but this is why we do it. We aren't really fans of the corporate company. We're fans of the talent.
I appreciate
it. You know what I'm saying? And we understand, like, the talent has nothing to do with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, The talent is really just they go to work like you and me do. They go to work and they got bosses that sometimes they can't stand and sometimes they do like, and et cetera, right?
Absolutely.
Just like everybody else does. And so we're wrestling fans, so we keep watching, and this is unfortunate because of course that just makes sometimes not very good people richer, but we watch because we are supporting the talent, not necessarily the corporation or the corporateness of it all. But to tie a bow around this match, the tag team turnaround match was really great for the men. It over delivered. We have to Ricochet in that like whatever the hell thing he did, touch the table thing. It was just insane. He's not a person. Dawkins getting that really dope football moment.
It was very nice to see Braun blown up in that manner. It really was. I don't know, something inside of me. I needed that. Like, and then I don't watch football no more, so seeing that was like I said, that was fantastic.
And letting Montez Ford do what he does best, from the rafters twirl up, down, and be great. It was really, really fly. And so I just think I got my eyes on the Street Profits moving forward, regardless of who's in control of creative. I've noticed that they've kind of been in part of some other things. Like they were doing a lot of the promo videos for whatever that Alaska show that was going on in USA right after Raw. They were the promo people for it. So like I felt like when you see them involved in more corporate things like that, that means, corporate wise, they're on the list of people that are going to hopefully be doing more things. So I have my eyes on them. I don't know if it's a heel turn. I don't know if it's a solo run for Tez or whatever, or Dawkins, whoever, for both of them. I don't know quite what it is, but something, they can't just come back next Monday as the Street Profits and do the same thing. To me, they need to do something different now based off of what's happened. That's all.
Yeah.
Storyline wise. Based off of what happened storyline wise.
Yeah, it's yeah, I have nothing else for that one. I am thoroughly. This is why I didn't want to talk about it, because honestly, I'm kind of like don't care in it right now. So I'm just it's whatever. Next match, and I'm for real. Like I'm like so not enthusiastic anymore. And, yeah, because that whole Vince McMahon shit just irks me. It irks me.
Yeah,
it really does, and it sucks because it's just like. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Let's move on. Positive note: women's match, title match, Rhea Ripley,
Charlotte Flair.
They went out there and go ahead, break it down.
That was it. Please. Ripped it. I was just doing the same thing. I was just echoing you. Yep.
Yeah, she was fucking fantastic. They went out there and just absolutely just destroyed it. It was so cool to see. I mean, Rhea Ripley finally arrived. You know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like. And Charlotte Flair, even towards the end of the match, you even saw like her giving her like the nod of acceptance. Like, you fucking did that. You earned that. You know what I mean? Because, Charlotte proves time and time again she is her. And I understand why people give her the love that they do. You know what I'm saying? She's absolutely her. But Rhea is, it's her time. And now I think you might have tweeted it, and I think that was such a great tweet that you had. It was like it was a picture of Stone Cold and The Rock, and then Rhea and Bianca, and seeing that it is like that type of energy. The two pillars for the women's division. I mean, if they played the right way with these two champions, there is so much that they can do. So dope. What are your thoughts on just? I mean, obviously we both agreed. We thought that Rhea was going to get it. How was the moment for you?
Oh, it was great. I think they couldn't have done any better. I think that match was exactly how it couldn't have gone better. Genuinely. It was hard hitting. It was spectacular. They had those, beautiful, lovely high spot moments as well. The evenly matched, like they're believable opponents. That's another, really important thing in professional wrestling. You got to believe it. Then they have the story behind it, right? We know that this isn't their first title match against each other, which is great. And so I think they had, as much as we wanted to see Rhea Bianca this Mania, we're building to it. We're gonna get it. I think it makes sense to have. I think it made sense for Rhea and Charlotte to do it. Like in retrospect, now that we got it, it was like, yeah, okay, right. I get it. I see.
Yeah.
It. And it went well. It went well. It went great. You can't be mad. 10 out of 10. No notes.
Yeah. It was absolutely great. I don't think she's the leader of the Judgment Day. I don't think the Judgment Day really has a leader, to be honest with you. Yeah, sure, especially not now. But no, that was a great match. Honestly, of that night, night one just got better and better. I feel like everything just kind of built on the next one, on the next one, on the next one. Because I'm really we don't gotta talk about this long. I could have done without the Hall of Famers versus Bailey and them. I absolutely could have been done with that. Like, people, I'm sorry. Lita is washed. It's done. I'm sorry. Lita's mad washed. And it's not. It's like, and the reason I say that is this: I don't think anybody should go out there if you're not believable and you're not athletic. She's not believable. She's not athletic. Okay, it's hard to watch. And then Trish, you probably got one more good one in you. All right, I give Trish that. And then the bad thing about it is, we said this before, Becky only cooks when she's out here cooking with another good chef. If there's not another good chef out there, she's gonna come out there and give you nonsense. And that's what I felt like we got that match. It was the worst match of the weekend. It plain and simple.
I don't know if it was the worst match of the weekend.
I'd absolutely rather see Shane McMahon for his 2.5 minutes and blow his knee out.
Absolutely not.
And Snoop Dogg hitting that right there was far more entertaining.
Here's what I'll say to that. I don't think it was an overly amazing match at all. No, but I think that it was a perfect exhibition WrestleMania match. Perfectly. You have to remember that although WrestleMania has to have in theory, you want your best matches on that card, but you also need the show's got to ebb and flow. That was a good ebb match to get into some flow.
I can say
to get into some flow. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't.
Sure.
And we say this all the time. Did not overstay its welcome. It wasn't too long. Everybody did their things, and then it was over. Joe, I think it's Joe. Joe saying Dakota and Io made everybody look beautiful. Made everybody look great. That's because
Dakota and Io went out there and were working
because they're great.
Because they had to.
I want better for Bailey. I want better for all three of those lovely women. I hope Damage Control is over. I hope we break that up now and
just
have some sort of.
I can see Dakota and Io by themselves doing like tag team stuff. I'm totally happy with that.
Totally
and let Bailey do Bailey things, and not have to be like this ringleader character. It's not working. I'm sorry, it's not. And they're all great individually. So I would absolutely love to see something else for them. But I don't care what Raquel does at all. She's not somebody I bring up on this show. I'm sorry. Just look, that's another one. I don't like people who aren't good workers, and I don't mess with MAGA people either. So there's that. I say it again, and I say it with my chest.
It was a good day today, wasn't it? Somewhere in New York.
Yeah, Dreamsicles be getting locked up out there here.
Dreamsicle. I over you. That's what I'm calling. That's what I'm over you. Over you, Joey. That we are not about to deal with this disrespect here. Bianca is the same as Becky. There,
I saw that. I didn't. I just ignored it. I just wasn't even going to even address
the disrespect.
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous comment. It's a ridiculous. Joey, you are a guy, so I'll clown you right now. That was a terrible
wiped
comment.
That from my memory. Lord of mercy.
Like what? Like, do you watch wrestling? Like, what is that? I'm going full heel on you right now, bro. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna hit you with that same laugh that Roman hit people. Like, I'm hitting you with that shit.
Hilarity. The rumors about Trish turning heel potentially, I think that would actually be fun. So, like, if they're gonna do something with those three, that would actually be fun. Trish is a fun heel. She was a fun heel back in the day. I think she's got some heel stuff left in her. Like,
hey, bro, I think she's got a good one in there. This chat in 2 seconds. Keep talking this nonsense.
That is nonsense. What are we talking about?
Straight nonsense.
What is he talking about?
Come on, man. You sound like you hate her. Like, I'm like,
no. There's no Bianca disrespect on this.
Yeah, but these comments don't even make sense.
What are you? Do you have when's the last time you've been to the Lens Crafters to get an eye check, baby?
Bro, 1000%.
Get that check, honey. It's
okay. Getting Dre roasting you. You know that I usually me. She be Serge, be nice. You know, nah, you crazy. You tripping.
The disrespect. What is the next?
Whoa.
Nope, ignoring it. See, the next match I believe of the night was it Seth Rollins?
Wow, disrespectful. And that like made me mad, like for real. Like,
nope, because I refuse now. Nope.
Okay,
nope.
Yeah, I'm done.
Nope, we can't do this. Was it Seth and Logan next? Did that happen?
Yeah,
that was night one. That was night one. That was fun.
That was fun. Seth coming in there, you know, with all of his Sethness, that was fantastic.
Fabulous.
You know, it was fantastic. The spot with KSI was fun.
It was,
and they did it right too, right? It wasn't one of those ones like he's looked and then he saw him going. Like they timed it perfectly. It was such a good time. No, yes. Had to have happened.
I was trying to hold it. I couldn't. Stefan, you wild for that, but thank you, brother. What? Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, that was another fun. I hate to call it's hard to call Logan Paul and Bad Bunny matches exhibitions because in theory they are. They're supposed to be the celebrity exhibitions, but like Logan is wrestling. Like that man was wrestling. He be wrestling.
He had a match against Roman for the title. He's a wrestler,
and it was good. Like
it was one of Roman's better matches.
And like Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. We already know he's up there, one of the GOATs of today. He's amazing. Like it was a really fun match. And as much
you don't
as
even follow Joey, we gonna have a heart to heart, my guy.
We don't have to take this back to the infamous group chat. What are you doing?
This is gonna be back to the infamous group chat.
What are you doing? I think that to me again, it was a really great celebrity match. It's just a good match and fun match in general. Two really good characters. And as much as I cannot stand Logan Paul or any of the Paul brothers, sports entertainment is their space. They're very good at it. They're good at the wrestling. They're just good. Can't be mad.
They are. They go out there and absolutely do their thing.
Can't be mad.
You know, Logan gets all the respect. He really performed from the Shawn Michaels entrance to the KSI spot. Everything was fun. You know,
that zip line was moving mad slow though.
It was going so slow. So slow. He was just like he got to freestyling because he had nothing else to do while he was up there. Whoa, I'm up here a long time, guys. You know, but like that was a lot of fun. Like that was cool to see. One other thing that I wanted to talk about after that one, that again, happy Seth went over. Thank God Seth went over.
Yeah.
Is that about? Oh, we can talk about the main event now in night.
Yes.
Anything else?
Omos Brock was night. No, I think that's it.
That was night 2. That was night 2.
Omos Brock was night 2. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So, tag team match. Sami Zayn, KO get the dub. Cool to see the storytelling without everything was awesome, right?
Yeah.
The performances wise, the Usos still honestly look strong. They still look like the stronger team, right? And they showed it just looks like they just got caught in the moment. So they both still looked very strong. You know what I mean? Main event Jey Uso is the man. Like, my God. And then the emotion from KO and Sammy, just beautiful, cool moment. Really cool moment. Salute to all 4 of them because this is the first tag team main event in WrestleMania history, aside from the first tag team with Hulk Hogan and Mr. T and Roddy Piper and all them other mothers over there, whoever the fuck.
And them.
Yeah, So
everything
what a
you
great
said.
superstars.
Agreed.
And they performed.
They did. It was a great. It was a wonderful way to send everybody home for night 1 too. Wonderful way.
Everybody went home on night 1 on a high.
Ready for night 2.
What a perfect ending to night 1 of WrestleMania. And again, I love me some Usos. the right team went over in this moment in time. Totally get it. But one thing that we did say, and we'll talk about it in a quick fast, and we'll rifle through night 2. Is that we said it. We both of us said it in the last episode. You guys can go back and check. We said if the Usos win, if the Usos lose, Roman wins, and vice versa. So we said that. And the moment night one happened and the Usos lost, I was like, Roman's gonna win. Watch. And then Cody went out there kissing babies and shit. I absolutely knew he was gonna take it. Like I was like, oh, he ain't gonna give him no win. And also, did you hear Roman during something about dude's swag this past week in media was like, it felt like he was like him and Paul Heyman felt like they were just telling us what was about to happen. They were just because Paul Heyman said something that was so poignant and I loved it. And I've been repeating it all week and it makes so much sense. Sometimes the better talent beats out the better story. He's not sometimes, every time the better talent beats the better story. And let's just keep it a buck. Roman Reigns is the better talent.
Some would say those are fighting words, Serge. I'm not going to be one of those people.
Cody?
I'm not going to. I'm not the one fighting you. I would just say something.
I'll tell Cody to his face, look, bro, I'm sorry.
Shout out to Cody Rhodes, one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever got to meet. Literally, my very first day interning at NXT was on Valentine's Day in 2014.
It's always time for a Jey Uso solo run.
And him and Brandy were the two of the nicest people that I met. And they were just like, "Oh, you're a new intern. It's nice to meet you. Very sweet, very nice."
Is this dark haired Cody?
Cody was. Did he? Yes, he had dark hair, I believe then.
Dark hair. I want him to get rid of the blonde hair. Don't like
Listen, it. That man is Homelander until he not. You feel me?
He is definitely Homelander.
Here's I agree. No notes on everything you said about the tag match. I think the tag match was great.
Joey's back in my good book.
That's a very good point. Throw it on a Fight Podcast shirt.
You know what? Straight up, I will definitely rock this shirt. Cody for the kids, Roman for the dogs.
You gotta have the Cody logo. Don't say the names, but just put the logo for the kids and then like the one for the dogs.
I'm here for it.
Funny. I think since we're merging into that storyline, that quote from Paul Heyman is a really good one. And I think people sometimes forget how long Paul Heyman has been in the business. Paul Heyman has been in every facet of the professional wrestling business for longer than most of us has been walking around talking to people. Like
Dre, we should come up with our own wrestling promotion.
Oh God. I mean, we already got the name.
What, Royal Rundown?
Or I was gonna say the fight.
Oh, the fight? Oh shit, no, that's something else. They're gonna pay me to use that.
Yeah, man. And then there's that on that. No, I think I just
I could call it that,
Cody and Roman are just here's my thing. I think we also forget that originally this was supposed to be Roman Rock. Like, I think that officially did come out that it was supposed to be Roman Rock, but Rock was unavailable. Did it? Yes. He was unavailable. So if you think about it that way,
DJ ain't want no smoke. That's
Roman
what
it is. Roman was always.
You know who the tribal chief is.
But if you think about that, then Roman was always going to win. Rock was not going to win that.
For sure.
Right? So Roman was always going to win. They threw Cody signs, and I think they kind of maybe already had him as like a good option B just in case, and
fantastic,
whatever.
Yes.
And so then we went with it, right? We went with the B, and I think that was the right choice. I'm not mad at him losing. I think Cody Rhodes is a very talented wrestler. He's a very talented sports entertainer. He's a talented human being. I think that, and I hate to say it this way, but whatever happens creatively, I think he'll be able to overcome it is a really strong word. He'll be able to make it watchable.
Very poignant word. I think that's exactly what it is. I think he can survive it.
Yes.
But now, my question is,
it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, please.
You're right. You're absolutely. It's going to be tough. And I think especially if they're not splitting the time. Like, I think we're all worried about, are they splitting these titles? Like, what are we going to do? What are we doing with these double title things? If it comes out that there's a title split of some sort creatively, then you absolutely throw one of them things on Cody and you throw the other and keep the other one on Roman. Absolutely. How you do it is the problem. How you do it is the question. And so they have the creative team has a tall task on figuring out who's Roman's next opponent. He's beat everybody they've built up that could possibly do it. So who are they're gonna have to rebuild somebody for this.
It's Jey Uso.
They're not gonna. I love Jey.
They're not gonna do Jey.
I love Jey like everybody loves Jey.
I mean, honestly, you know who he hasn't been in there with? I mean, let's be honest. If we give Montez a run, it can be Montez. If they actually try to push him.
They're never gonna do that. They're never gonna do that.
I would see. I love that. If it was not for Vince and I think his imminent return, I would say Gunther, but Vince doesn't like Gunther. And I mean, to the point that we forget, yes, Gunther has been on a hell of a run. That is because of trips. If Voldemort is back, he was about to release Gunther beforehand. So I'm curious to see what would happen because I think Gunther would be great to be going after that. Or I'm honestly really happy him being the end of level boss with the Intercontinental title. You know what I'm saying? Like if he does keep it for 1,000 days or whatever he wants to, you know?
Yeah.
So he would be an option, obviously. I mean, we can look. I mean, and here's the bad thing. I mean, we wouldn't want to talk about Jay White because Jay White could have been that guy. But because of the return of Vince McMahon, they said that is the exact reason why he decided against him going over to the WWE.
Jay White would have only made sense.
He would have been perfect. It would have been perfect.
If Cody won. Oh. That's how you get the Cody versus Jay White for the main title joint. Roman gonna have to go on vacation or something because it's just because like it's a really tough hole they've written themselves into. The cool thing is that they can write themselves out of it. Watch Roman keep it until WWE can sign. Yeah, the world. I don't even know.
Freak out, bro.
Here's the thing.
They won't. And honestly, especially if Vince is around, I don't see him allowing any of the AEW guys to come close to that title anymore. I think there was an opportunity. I think we've seen the last of Johnny Gargano on the main roster. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at a lot of Omos is gonna do it. He's gonna be the one to beat Roman. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, yo, everything that we wanted, and it's so funny because, yo, do you remember right before Vince left, I was on this very show. Like, I don't even want to talk about WWE anymore. I was like, it's so terrible. He was
ready to stop watching.
I did. I was just like, I'm not watching this anymore. Like, why would I waste my time? It's like every episode, every episode was 3 roll-ups, you know what I'm saying? The 3 roll-up finishes, you know, and all the shenanigans. And in a 3-hour show, we had every bit of 20 minutes of wrestling in a 3-hour wrestling show. That is what Vince McMahon brings to the table. Triple H comes over, we get out of 3 hours, we get 2 hours of wrestling and an hour of shenanigans. And guess what? I like that much better. It's like when you're working out, your 2-to-1 ratio. I'm here for it, every bit of it. It works. You know what I'm saying? So, it is. I have a feeling Roman will lose the belt in terrible fashion if Vince stays. Man, if Vince is there, he'll have that belt until he goes and fights Roman. He will fight Roman in the UFC or Brock in the UFC before he lets him do that. Like
Roman will have that title until he is inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. They will retire that title before.
It is just everything about this right now is.
And we love us some Roman. You know, we be throwing the ones up all day. It's just they've written themselves in such an interesting space right now, and like even with Roman winning on Sunday, it was like, okay, cool. you got to set something up for Monday. Now,
really quick. We haven't talked about the match. Fantastic match.
Great match.
Fantastic match.
Very enjoyable.
My God.
I enjoyed
was that
all
a
of
good
that.
That was one of my favorite Roman matches.
Yeah.
He was doing a little bit of everything. He was acting, getting hurt, jumping around. He was athletic. Timing, they actually using the Superman punch in the right instance this time. Like, oh wow, that actually like worked within the context of combat. Wow, that was cool. You know, like we had all those things. The Usos coming in. I thought if anything, again, the Usos might have put a hankering in it, but seeing them come out there and still be dogs for Roman is cool. It's kind of like, oh shit, okay, so they're on the same page still. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say that the chemistry between Roman and Cody in the ring.
Fantastic.
I was very happy to see that. Yeah. Cody's really good. Like, I think people sleep on some weirdly. I don't know how you sleep on a Rhodes in the wrestling ring because that's just weird.
We're talking about literally two of the royal families.
Like, gee, come on now. It's Cody Rhodes now. Like, that man is I thought he was a really good wrestler before he left WWE. Like, I thought he was a really good. I enjoyed his stuff when he was younger. I am one of the only humans who enjoyed Stardust, but I just think I liked it. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Do you know how much that? Oh my God, know this. So You're not. This man, the commitment to that character. Like that, everybody can't do that. Yes, to Stardust, like that, everybody can't do that. Now, granted, what they had him do, storyline wise, etc., all of that was very whack. But him as the character was very good. He always got
because he takes his job serious. He loves professional wrestling.
He really, really does, and you can tell. Yes. And you can tell every time he's in the ring. And so the main event on Sunday night, it was one of those moments. It was really, really fun wrestling match.
Oh my God.
And you got all the Attitude Era shenanigans as well. Like you got it all. You got wrestling and that. So I'm
sorry. You're right. I did enjoy it. Joey won me back for life.
I see it.
Joey just won me back for life. And let's talk about this before I bring up this comment. Okay. Because that was fantastic. But can we talk about, I don't know how we missed this in night one. My favorite match of night one.
Yeah. Arguably top 3 match of the night, of the weekend.
Arguably top 3 match. Maybe even top 2.
Maybe. I don't know who.
Maybe. My boy Dom Mysterio against his pappy. The Hall of Famer. Put some respect on his name. Rey Mysterio Jr. You know what I'm saying? Yo, one time for Dom. That is one of the greatest entrances in WrestleMania history. I'll say it with my chest. One of the best entrances in WrestleMania history. Dominic Mysterio goes out here, has a amazing little vignette that they have in there, right? With him coming out of the slammer, they pull out the patrol vehicle, and he's coming out. He's handcuffed. He has his gnarly ass jacket on, fantastic. But he takes his hood off, and he is wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. And not only any Mysterio mask, it is giving hints, little shout outs to Halloween Havoc.
Was it Halloween Havoc, maybe?
Yeah, it was the peak of the thing. It was very Halloween Havoc. Yeah. And watching him come out there and people, if we have a most improved player of the last year, it is definitely Dominic Mysterio.
Absolutely.
Because he went from somebody that people could not stand seeing on TV to collectively people are like, yo, I can't hate on Buddy. Like, Jesus. He's this, and now he even wrestles like he's been training with Finn and them. His wrestling, he would not have been able to keep up with Rey 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But he went in there. Yo, he had the Eddie boots on. He had the boots on. You know what I'm saying? You know, mommy on his ass. Like my man was out here.
Took me clean out. I was like, is that say mommy? I was on the ground at that point. I'm like, this
incredible. They wrestled their asses off. Rey taking off the belt and giving us everything that we wanted, giving them the chancletazo that we all needed. Come on.
I know that
Come on.
I agree that Dom's entrance was amazing, but I think his pappy one-upped him because let me tell you something.
I lie, I cheat, I steal.
Mysterio Jr. came out in the lowrider with Uncle Snoop to Ain't Nothing But a G Thing first. And then Eddie Guerrero's music hit. And then we got his amazing music. He had 3 entrances, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's the most entrances one person's ever had in one.
And the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio deserves. He deserved every minute of it, and it was great. So, like, I loved Dom's entrance, but Rey's was better.
Absolutely, I understand. It was. I mean, what a moment though for both, right? And it's funny because obviously, Rey's mother and sister are part of the show, right? They're interacting with him and everything. Did you peep his fiance is literally the one standing directly next to his sister? Yeah, and she's kind of like off to the side, and it's like I'm cracking up because I'm like, yo, that's his lady. Like his lady's right there with him, and like so they're all so proud of Dom. They're like, so holy proud. Shit.
Yeah, like, they're having a great family moment this weekend. Like, oh my goodness, amazing for them.
What a moment! Like they were even able to. They'll even be able to say like how. Oh my God, the Hall of Fame, Conan's induction to Rey was fantastic. Yeah. Look, salute to Rey Mysterio, the legendary, one of the greatest of all time, the greatest luchador of all time, Rey motherfucking Mysterio. Holy shit. That like what that dude. But Dom, I'm telling you guys, Dom gonna get some hardware before you know it. And so here's the thing, and this sucks because now I went from being excited to thinking about fucking Vince again.
Don't do it. We're gonna be nice
about Vince again.
No, don't do it.
But before Voldemort's return, internally, word on the street is Triple H really loves Dom right now. And Dom was getting ready. They said Triple H views Dominic Mysterio as a star. And I quote, a star. And they were planning to give him a big push. So I really hope that stays because, oh my goodness. And salute to Buddy Murphy, right? Buddy, what's his name?
Yeah. Ripley's actual boyfriend, Buddy? Okay.
Yes. That dude is hilarious. Like him tweeting stuff on Twitter saying, Aaliyah was on the other side, all this other stuff. Like, dude is funny. He had some funny ones on Twitter this weekend about the whole situation.
Oh yeah, he's great. I was going to just simply say that I think Dom is just getting started. So like
this is funny. It's very
and
true.
I think and I think it's the Bad Bunny.
They love them some Mysterios.
Him and Damian Priest versus Pops and Bad Bunny. I think that'll be great for Puerto Rico, for Backlash in Puerto Rico. That's going to be fun. Yes. I think I personally still think that we don't need to put any titles on that man just yet. Not this year, even next year we can talk. He'd be a fun Money in the Bank winner for 2024.
Oh my God.
I think that would be fun.
He would be the most, and he's had some more muscle on him by then. Please, come on.
But can you just you could see it? Like he would be just
him with the Money in the Bank still an entire clown. Salute to Rey bringing back the LWO. The LWO is back for life. For life. I was throwing that shit up as a kid. LWO motherfucker for life. All right. Because y'all already know when we was growing up, we had for black folks, we had the Nation of Domination, and then that's it. We had like 6 like black folks from time to time, right?
And we had them and Jacqueline. It was going up.
That's all we had. That's all we had. So my Puerto Rican side was proud as hell when I seen LWO. I said, that bitch, yeah, motherfucker. I was cool. Now I know Conan was Puerto Rican. I was like, I knew I belonged. God damn it, I knew I was supposed to be there.
I love it. It's gonna be fun.
It was great. Like literally that moment right there, like I had all of the warm and fuzzies, as they say, as a wrestling fan with the Dom and Rey match. So to me, that match there for me was the most fun I had all weekend.
Oh, agreed.
It was. I had so much fun with that. The match delivered. It was a great match. Roman obviously was great. I'd be remiss if I didn't. We talk about big meaty men slapping meat. I mean, you
That
have
triple threat.
Sheamus and the triple threat. I mean, those guys went out there. Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. You guys know I'm not the biggest Drew McIntyre fan, but who ain't? Wild ain't Latino, but man, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep one of them. You know, somebody always with the crew. Y'all already know. There's always somebody with the crew that ain't down like that. The one white alpha in the crew or something like that's what happens.
That is so funny.
It happens. Who the white guy? I don't know. He plays with us though. We like him. He steps great. It's amazing. They be in that mug getting it.
Like, look, he succeeded. So just move on, right? Like he passed all tests.
Yeah, hell yeah. Viva la raza. Damn right. Shout out to the rival culture. Love that.
We gotta talk about Edge and Finn Balor and how Finn Balor busted his entire head open
and still his entire wig open. Yo, first of all, shout out to Fergalicious, arguably the toughest man in all of professional wrestling. This dude had a ladder thrown at him. He caught it with his head, the top of his head. It split him open like. I mean, if you haven't seen the pictures,
he was a cantaloupe.
It looked like a hatchet hit my man in the dome, and he got staples put in his head mid-match, little numbing staples. He went out there and ran around like a mad person for a little bit, to the point that you can see Edge's face like, "Oh shit, you're moving fast."
He was like, "Hold up, okay, got."
And you made a point. We were speaking earlier. Because to me that was the worst part of the weekend. I was like, how do you make Edge win? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why does Edge win? I was like, if that ain't home cooking or like old man or Vince McMahon booking, I don't know what is. Right? Like, this is terrible. But you had a POV. You think that it might have been Finn's call because you did hear the go home call. And if that's the case, yeah, please.
Yeah,
we got like 3 minutes before we out of here.
I don't know for sure. Like, this is just all speculation. But personally, I think that everybody.
I'm sorry, really quick. Perfect example. Yes, every crew needs a Sammy. Everybody.
I think that because the doctors and stuff knew how bad that gash was.
Yes.
Because that man was getting stapled mid-match. I think that the reason, I think personally, they didn't know how bad it was for real, right? Because they haven't gone back to see, if there's any further damage. I think that they made a call to have Edge win, because they didn't know how bad Finn's head actually was. That's just my thought. Because if it isn't, then yeah, you're right. Why does Edge win that match? It doesn't make any sense.
And I'm seeing Joey just said this as well, but you protect the demon character. You do not bring the demon character out there to lose. He should have never lost. That character should be just as protected as the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. That is what that character is supposed to be like.
And they already
bring him out for real shit.
And they already messed it up once. So I don't think they had to me, it just doesn't make sense that they had the intention to have him lose again after making such a big deal of him bringing.
They got to fix it. They got to fix it.
And I think they will. The cool thing about Finn's demon character is that just because it's the demon doesn't mean it can't look different at each time. It can look different every single time, and it is such a really well portrayed character that you're gonna get excited regardless. So I think you can. I think it's savable. It's just gonna they need a minute, but it is savable.
Yeah. No. They better save it, because I think that is it was a miss otherwise. But aside from that, the weekend was fantastic. The weekend itself, the Raw, yes.
Bianca Belair versus of Asuka, I thought was
solid.
It was fine. We needed it. If it had a story, it would have been better.
Yeah, but it was just solid.
But they won the crowd over.
Wrestling. Yeah,
they won the crowd over, and shout out to Bianca Belair having another dope, beautiful, dang near making me cry entrance with babies dancing to her song. And the one little girl contortionist, her mother passed away that morning, and that little girl still performed that night. So just Triple H told the story at the presser on Sunday night, and it was just like, okay,
wow.
So
look,
just more thoughts.
That was an incredible moment as always. Bianca does such an amazing job with her entrances, and she's, like we said, she's Jane Cena. I mean, now you do what you did. She is The Undertaker now. This is her third win. You protect that, just like we were saying. You protect the Demon. She does not lose during WrestleManias now. We just have to acknowledge that.
She can lose anytime. I don't care if she loses Backlash, SummerSlam, wherever. But
she does not lose.
My girl better win that Mania always.
Every time. That's what it is. So salute to her. That was fantastic. We talked about it already a little bit. The Raw after Mania was ass at best.
It started off so promising. Triple H's promo was real dope. Got me fired up. We're like, all right, let's get it. And then it just
when Brock went out there, that was an audible. That was Vince going out there saying, hey, Brock, I need you to go out there and just kick Cody's ass because he left. Like it really felt that way.
I really my thing was, I'm not mad at the Brock inclusion. I'm not mad at that. If you have Brock Lesnar, you use him, fine. I was surprised that he was going to team with Cody. That was a surprise. And I was like, oh, I'm going to watch the main event because that's going to be interesting. And I just think they should have had the match and then had Brock turn on him.
Absolutely.
Have the match. Don't pub this match all show.
It was the most Vince McMahon thing ever. I'm going to promise something and not give it to you.
And not give it to you.
That's what they always did. That is what they used to, with Vince McMahon, they used to constantly publicize matches. This has happened. They'd pub it for weeks. And then that'd come and they just wouldn't do it. And that's like Vince McMahon does not respect wrestling fans. That's the issue. Triple H is a fan of wrestling.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon is entitled because he was born into it, so he thinks that he is bigger than itself. Triple H was ingratiated into it. He loves this. Vince McMahon doesn't love wrestling, because if he loved wrestling, he would not treat it in the way that he does. And it's very, very plain to see. He doesn't care about wrestling. He doesn't care about the product. He doesn't care about the fans who are watching the product. He cares about sell merch to little stupid kids who I don't care about. Really, that's what it is. Sell merch. So let's highlight all these goofy fucking characters, because let's be very honest, Vince McMahon's most fun time watching professional wrestling was the 80s when it was goofy as shit. That's what he likes.
But the weird thing about that is, like, even the highest merch sellers are wrestlers he's not even pushing sometimes. So you're just like, you're not even paying attention.
Octogenarian or whatever the hell Ron just said.
It's genuinely fascinating. But I will say this, like I said, I don't mind the Brock inclusion. I just wish that they would have had the match, and the match could have been 2 minutes, and then Brock goes crazy. Fine.
Give us something. Like, if they started the match, they all kind of, locked horns, and then it turned around and he did that, I would have been cool. I'm cool with it, but there were so many changes. You literally had Seth getting direction while he was in the ring and stuff. We're talking about Seth. Seth don't need no direction. I'm talking about Seth freaking Rollins. You know what I'm saying? One of the best ever. Let him cook.
To be fair, we just talked about who can possibly take that title from Roman. Seth could. He is a face now.
Seth could be the one. And from what I understand, I think they're talking about him being the next one up. And if that's the case, I'm fine with it. And
that's fine.
He has a winning record over Roman in big events. I'm clear with that.
And he has a story still. He has a past with Cody. So if that is who Cody wins to get the title, or beats to get the title, later on this year or whatever, that actually makes storyline sense.
Yeah, I need it, and something needs to happen at this point in time. But I'll be honest, we already know if Voldemort's back, ain't nothing we want. We ain't gonna have no more fun. We're gonna be talking about AEW and they lack of build up to main events, and then gushing over the product after their pay-per-view. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to continue talking about how overrated MJF is. Like, that's what we can do, because I'm going right back to doing that. It's a fact, Jack. Like, straight up.
I've got nothing.
Because you agree.
Trinity was spotted at the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor in the front row in character, allegedly.
Man, Trinity was
She was spotted. Let's just play. She was outside this weekend, being amazing, looking beautiful, doing what she do. I got you. I'll say it for you. I got you, brother.
Appreciate you, sis. I do. Man, piece of candy.
My baby daddy was outside too, looking gorgeous as well.
I understand. Man, Jimmy, my dude. I appreciate Jimmy. I'm here for this. Whoop that ass. We said this like 2 weeks ago.
We did.
We did say that 2 weeks ago.
And we love that.
But Super Card of Honor was dope though too. The Love to the Briscoes was dope. I mean, I'm about to watch that again. I love that event. Yeah. That was dope. Super cool. Did you see Impact in New Japan?
I did not.
I didn't either. I haven't. I haven't watched it yet because the production value, y'all start looking like you filming some shit in the school auditorium. You don't got surge. I need production value, Jack.
Well, not everybody has WWE money now. You gotta
get your angles right. Look, I got good lighting, and I'm in here. My damn, you better pull them down. Get a sound buoy in this bitch. Like you better
step your lighting game up.
Get moving and shit. You better figure it out.
That you get you a DSLR.
You better get moving. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You better do that. That shit look like it was filmed on a damn Motorola. Like that look terrible.
Stop it right now.
Bro, I'm subscribed to New Japan. I watch that stuff every week. Don't know what half the thing they saying is, but the wrestling strong style, man, gets me going. You've got
surge. Gets the people going.
I watch AAA. I watch New Japan. I watch Ring of Honor.
I do have one last thing. We didn't even talk about this, but we have a new NXT champion, and it's him.
It's him. It is him.
Him.
And
Carmelo. Allegedly, we did a double turn tonight on NXT. I didn't watch NXT, but this is what I've seen so far. Braun Breaker is now a heel, and Carmelo is a face now, as of this evening.
Oh, I'm here for that. Because Carmelo's a face with swag, or I could do that. You know how I get down.
Yes.
And then Braun just being Goldberg, I'm here for that.
Essentially.
Yeah, let him be Goldberg and just run through people. And because people were talking about him going to main roster. Let's be very serious. He ain't ready yet. I
didn't want to be the one to say it, but I think having them stay there is fine.
Is him. Braun is not him. And I'm so sad to say this. With Vince McMahon back now, Dragon Lee, you ain't never gonna sniff the main roster, son. I'm saying that right now. If Vince is for real back, you should have went with all your brothers and went to AEW.
I am simply just going to hold out hope.
I'm holding out hope too, because Dragon Lee, you're talking about somebody who is him. Dragon Lee is great. And to be fair, I love Wes. Dragon Lee should have won. Mm-hmm. They didn't even. I don't care. You had that little gushy moment with HBK. Y'all paid this man to come here. The guys you pay, he is top billing for a reason. Yeah, and I love it. But all right, all in all, see, aside from that one brain fart you had halfway through the show, you've been spot on the rest of the time. I'm just saying.
He came back he had a Snickers and came back.
You know what I'm saying? He must have been hungry. Why wait?
I'm so glad that Snickers joke landed. I love that for us. I love that for us.
Yeah, man. Look, you got me in full heel mode today. You know what I'm saying? I've been up all day. Look, and Dre kicked the day off with me today. Early in the morning, I was working with, salute to you for working out this morning.
Sergio kicked my ass very early this morning in the workouts. My back hurts right now. My quadriceps are still sore from last
about
week.
To say, that sounded crazy. Whoa.
Working out wise, guys, virtually with the workouts. Guys, get your stuff out the gutter, people. Lord of mercy.
Why your back hurt? Goddamn, we got good form. I told you about your front.
I have that. I have Me, Andrea has had lower back problems. Look, I got my whole government out there now. Me, I've had lower back problems since I was a Division I softball player back in the day. Yes,
Damn right.
no. So that's just regular me. But listen, work out with Serge. He gonna get you together. Shut up. Shut up, Stefan. He gonna get you together.
Yeah, do that.
Give me a couple more weeks, and then my summer body gonna be ready. It's already cooking. We cooking her right now.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be great.
Look, I know I wear big clothes, but it's like Ferg down here. Okay, I'm saying.
Can confirm. Serge is hiding the muscles underneath the black. It's true. It's under there.
It ain't people of the TV land. You know what I'm saying? Me for my lady. I keep it wrapped up for my lady.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I mean, it's real. She's fly.
She is.
Yeah, I keep wrapped up for my lady. Gotta do what I gotta do.
Yes, together they look like they're not real. Together they don't look like real people. They look like they should be selling things, on the runways.
I'm trying to sell shit. Buy this mug. Buy that shirt. I am selling things. Do that shit. Y'all love me. Y'all be watching my show every week. Buy some goddamn merch.
Buy the merch. Buy the merch.
Do that
Dang
shit. Oh man.
Foolishness.
All right, brother. Yo, look, if you guys enjoy what you were here, do me a favor, please. Like, share, and subscribe to this video. And listen to everything that is on the Scrap News, the fastest growing YouTube channel in all of combat sports. I'm telling you, if you are looking for the absolute best in combat sports journalism, I'm talking about fantastic interviews, not just from myself, from a litany of other fantastic, interviewers and media personalities. Go on the website, check out as well some just if you're really especially looking for regional MMA and people building those up, I'm telling you guys, it is the absolute best place to check it out. Check out the Scrap News today. And like, share, and subscribe to this channel and many others. Check out the Fight Podcast. Buy some merch because it says in your face. Do that today. Dre, anything else we need to talk about before we get up out of here?
Listen here. We got AEW Dynamite tomorrow. We've got SmackDown and Rampage on Friday. We're gonna be talking about all of that. We've been very WWE heavy lately because it's Mania season and Mania happened.
It's a hot McMahon summer.
You a lie from the pit. Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? No. No, wait. If you paid me 3.1 million, never mind. No.
I consider it for sure.
You wouldn't hear about it. Let's just put it that way.
No.
My lifestyle would just get significantly better, and you'd wonder what happened that summer. Nothing happened.
Nothing at all happened.
I've been grinding, hustling real hard.
Straight up. I wouldn't even say shit. Y'all just said, why don't he do the pod no more? Oh, well.
Like, hi, welcome to the Royal Rundown. It is just Miss Dre today. Serge is in Greece.
Or you be seeing me from different places. Where are you today? Don't even matter. Don't worry about it. I'm off the grid.
Why is it sunny at 9:15 p.m. Central Standard? Because it's not 9:15 where I'm at over here.
It's 8 a.m. I'm chilling. What's up? Good morning with my cup of coffee.
Wow.
Oh, and another thing too. Y'all like us, watch us, share, so me and Drake can be at next year's WrestleMania.
Yes, that part.
That part.
We trying to go to Philly next year.
You're damn right. Hell yeah. Sometimes I'm trying to kick it with the Roots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to kick it with the Roots. FY Serge said, hold on. MJF.
Oh,
MJF says some MJF Day rule. Oh, it's MJF's day. If you see MJF, you have to admit that he is better than you and you know it, then hand him $50.
That is funny.
Yo, first of all, it is funny. He mad corny, son. Like MJF, yo, Joe, you funny as hell for sending me this, bro.
What is Joey said in the middle? Not in the middle of the show.
Because you know I got it right here next to me. I seen it pop up with my name on it.
Just foolery.
All right. With that being said, people, I need you guys to continue doing what you're doing and being just the absolute best wrestling fans that you can possibly be. But not just being the best wrestling fans. I need you to be the best you can possibly be. Do your thing. Treat yourself right. Treat your body right. Love yourself. Love everybody around you. Watch wrestling. Subscribe to this show and all the other shows on this channel and on the Fight Podcast. See it in the corner. Sign up to that shit as well. Do that. I love y'all. And before we get out of here, we're going to leave you with some wise words from not just myself and my sister from another Mr. Miss Dre. We are going to leave you with the street poet himself. We are going to leave you with the wise words from the entrepreneur, the philosopher, the man, the myth, the legend, Joey Crack.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price
use this shit,
is not today's price.
It's certified.